Delve into the pivotal figures of the Middle Ages, whose enduring legacies shaped the course of history. From visionary leaders and profound scholars to prolific writers and formidable warriors, these individuals left an indelible mark on medieval society. Spanning from the 6th to the 15th centuries, this curated list highlights 5 influential figures from each century, offering a comprehensive view across the entire era. Explore our selection of 50 key figures who defined the medieval world and continue to inspire generations today. 6th century Clovis I, warrior king and founder of Frankish power, circa 466 to 511. As the Western Roman Empire crumbled in the 5th century, new powers emerged in Europe. One of the most significant figures of this era was Clovis I, a Frankish leader who first united his people and then conquered neighboring regions. He created a state that spread over much of France, the Low Countries, and Western Germany. Clovis was not only the founder of the Merovingian dynasty, which would rule for another 250 years, but he also converted to Roman Catholicism. This helped to establish that form of Christianity in Western Europe. As Catherine Sherman observed, Clovis was a consummately successful king, the author of Frankish supremacy and a founder of modern France. Boethius, philosopher and consolation in a time of troubles. A Roman politician and official, Boethius made a name for himself as a writer. However, it would be his final work that made him famous. Unjustly imprisoned by Theodoric, king of the Ostrogoths, Boethius wrote The Consolation of Philosophy while awaiting execution. This text on the philosophy of faith and reason became the most important philosophical work of the Middle Ages and continues to be widely read around the world. Among his profound words are, balance out the good things and the bad that have happened in your life, and you will have to acknowledge that you are still way ahead. You are unhappy because you have lost those things in which you took pleasure, but you can also take comfort in the likelihood that what is now making you miserable will also pass away. Benedict of Nursia, the father of Western monasticism. Benedict of Nursia is renowned as the founder of Western monasticism. His establishment of the Benedictine order and formulation of the Benedictine rule profoundly shaped medieval Christianity. Benedict initially pursued a solitary life of asceticism in Subiaco, where his disciplined yet practical approach attracted followers seeking spiritual guidance. Central to Benedict's influence was the Benedictine rule, a blueprint for communal living and spiritual discipline within monastic communities. Emphasizing moderation, prayer, work, and obedience, the rule promoted a balanced life of contemplation and labor. Benedictine monasteries, guided by this rule, flourished across medieval Europe as centers of learning, agriculture, and faith, leaving an enduring mark on religious, cultural, and intellectual. Justinian I, reuniting the Roman Empire and championing law. The Byzantine emperor from 527 to 565, Justinian's reign marked a revival of the Byzantine Empire. Militarily, Byzantine armies saw conquests in the Middle East, North Africa, and Italy, significantly expanding the empire. Just as importantly, his government undertook a major rewrite of Roman law codes, much of which has endured in the civil law of many countries today. Meanwhile, Constantinople, the Byzantine capital, with the impressive church of Hagia Sophia, became one of the most important cities of the medieval world. Justinian's rule had its supporters and detractors, including the contemporary writer Procopius, who presented 2 versions of the emperor. In one work, he praises Justinian for taking over the state when it was harassed by disorder, has not only made it greater in extent, but also much more illustrious. However, in another, he calls Justinian deceitful, devious, false, hypocritical, two-faced, cruel, skilled in dissembling his thought, never moved to tears by either joy or pain, though he could summon them artfully at will when the occasion demanded. A liar always, not only offhand, but in writing, and when he swore sacred oaths to his subjects in their very hearing. Khosrow I, Sassanid Emperor of Splendor. Khosrow I, also known as Khosrow Anushirawan or Khosrow the Just, ruled as the Sassanid Emperor from around 531 to 579. He is celebrated as one of ancient Persia's most illustrious rulers, distinguished for his military achievements, administrative reforms, and cultural patronage. During his reign, Khosrow I stabilized the Sassanid Empire by implementing significant administrative and military reforms. He successfully expanded Sassanid territories through strategic military campaigns, reaching into regions like Yemen and the Caucasus. His diplomatic skills were evident in the negotiation of the Eternal Peace with Emperor Justinian I in 532, which brought prolonged stability to the eastern Roman-Persian frontier. Internally, Khosrow I fostered economic prosperity by overseeing infrastructure projects such as dams, bridges, and roads that facilitated trade and communication across the empire. Culturally, he promoted Persian literature and art, making his court a vibrant center of intellectual activity. Khosrow I's legacy as a just and capable ruler influenced subsequent Persian dynasties and left a lasting impact on the history of the ancient Near East, marking his reign as a pinnacle of Sassanid achievement and stability. 7th century Pope Gregory I, the Great, reformer and defender of the faith Pope. Gregory I, also known as Gregorius Anicius, ascended to the papacy in 590 and left an indelible mark on the Church's administration and mission. Renowned as one of only 3 popes to be titled the Great, Gregory I undertook significant reforms that revitalized the papacy's administrative structure, ensuring its effectiveness and influence across Europe. His initiatives extended beyond organizational reforms. Gregory I emphasized missionary activities, dispatching missionaries to evangelize pagan peoples in Britain and elsewhere. He also reorganized the Church's charitable efforts, aligning them more closely with its spiritual mission and ensuring they reach those most in need. Gregory I's enduring influence in papal history underscores his pivotal role in shaping the medieval church and its outreach efforts. Taishi, prince and reformer who shaped Japanese culture. Shotoku Taishi, a pivotal figure in Japanese history, wielded significant influence despite never ascending to the imperial throne. Acting as the de facto ruler from 593 to 622, he laid the groundwork for a centralized government in Japan, marking a crucial shift towards greater political organization. Shotoku's reign was characterized by his embrace of Buddhism, which he introduced to Japan, fostering cultural and religious ties with China that would shape Japan's future. His efforts not only strengthened governance, but also paved the way for cultural exchange, earning him the moniker of the founder of Japan. Shotoku Taishi's legacy remains integral to Japan's identity as the land of the rising sun, symbolizing its cultural and spiritual evolution during the medieval era. Muhammad, prophet of Islam and founder of a world religion. Muhammad ibn Abdullah, born in Mecca around 570, is revered as the final prophet and messenger of God in Islam. His life and teachings shaped the foundation of one of the world's major religions, Islam. Raised in Mecca's diverse religious and cultural environment, Muhammad began receiving revelations from God through the angel Gabriel at the age of 40. These revelations, compiled into the Quran, emphasize monotheism, social justice, and moral conduct, challenging the prevailing polytheistic beliefs and social norms of pre-Islamic Arabia. After the migration to Medina in 622, Muhammad became a leader not only in spiritual matters but also in establishing a unified Islamic community. He navigated conflicts and negotiated treaties, demonstrating both his spiritual guidance and diplomatic skills. Muhammad's teachings in the Quran form the basis for Islamic governance and ethics, influencing legal systems and societal norms across diverse cultures. Today, Muhammad is revered as an exemplary model of compassion, humility, and devotion in Islamic faith and culture. His life and teachings guiding millions of Muslims worldwide in their spiritual and moral lives. Taizong, the emperor who established the Tang dynasty's golden age Li Shimin, one of the co-founders of the Tang dynasty in China, became emperor after his father's death, ruling from 626 to 649. Taking on the name Taizong, he built an empire over much of East Asia, ushering in a golden age for Chinese history. Today, he remains an exemplar of a wise ruler and administrator. Reflecting on his reign, Taizong said, "I've learned the principles of good governance and put them into practice. Our country was going downhill, but it is now in good shape. Foreign barbarians used to invade China, but they are now our vassals. I'm very lucky, for I've done better than many rulers in history. I want to make sure that my rule has a good beginning and a good ending." Ali, fourth caliph of Islam and revered figure Ibn Abi Talib, the son-in-law and companion to Muhammad, was an important figure in Islam and the catalyst for a major rift in the Muslim community. After Muhammad's death in 632, many believed Ali should succeed him, but he did not become caliph until 656. His reign was marked by power struggles and civil war, ending with his assassination. The political disagreements over his claim to leadership eventually created the Sunni and Shia factions, the two largest branches of Islam.